Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Passion to Profession. हमारे आज के गेस्ट हैं डॉक्टर बेला, जो कि एक बहुत ही रिनाउंड होम्योपैथिक डॉक्टर हैं। आज हम डॉक्टर बेला से जानेंगे कि हम होम्योपैथी के थ्रू कितना कुछ अचीव कर सकते हैं और कैसे वो हमारी लाइफ में हेल्पफुल होती है। सो लेट्स इनवाइट डॉक्टर बेला ओवर। हेलो एंड लेट्स वेलकम डॉक्टर बेला। डॉक्टर बेला, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ.
Yeah, hi Manvi, and hi all the friends who are listening to us. I'm Dr. Bela. I'm a homeopathic doctor, been practicing in Mumbai and Delhi for the last 30 plus years. My first 22 years were in Mumbai. I was working with a few PSUs like BPCL, ONGC, Bamalori, HPCL. And then after 22 years, I shifted into Delhi. And now I've been practicing. I have my own private practice for the last 12 years here in Delhi. So all in all, I think 35 years. I complete 35 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that I want to boast about it, but yes, I would like to hear from you about your achievements also. I know you're a gold medalist, and besides that, you've got many awards also. So, could you please tell us a little more about the what are the achievements you've had in this, couple of years?
So if you go back to last year, I don't think there was anything much to say. The 2020 was a lockdown period. 2017, 18, and 19, I've been awarded as the most trustworthy homeopathic physician consultant in Delhi. I've also got awards for treating PCOD and sinusitis very well. So that's one award. Yes, I've also recently been featured by this one Z Cafe Gold as a leader that inspires others. So that was a feather in the cap. That was my latest feather in the cap. And of course, if we go back to 30 years back, I graduated with a gold medal. So yeah,
Okay,
a
that
few years, yeah.
that's really terrific. Okay, so as you had mentioned that you got awarded for curing PCOD, so let's begin with this only. Let's learn more about it. Like, what exactly? Let's tell our viewers that what exactly is PCOD and how do you cure your patients through your homeopathic in PCOD for PCOD. So
So nowadays there have been about I think 60 to 70% of girls are coming with PCOS or PCOD, which is polycystic ovarian disorder or polycystic ovarian syndrome. So now why is that happening? It is basically because our lifestyle are totally messed out completely, especially in the growing kids. We don't see them exercising as much. We see them binging a lot. We don't see them meditating or sleeping in a proper lifestyle, in proper 8 to 10 hours. We see them doing all the wrong things. And I'm sure each one of them is aware of it, but they just
yes.
sort of enjoy it and they go with the flow of it since everybody else is doing the same thing. So they are doing the same thing. So that's one thing that we do. That is one thing that the girls are going wrong with. So I remember 30 years back when I started my practice, it was we used to see 1 in every 5 cases of girls that would come with PCOS. Now it's 2 in every 3. So it's as bad as that. 70% of the younger generation is down with, is suffering from PCOS or PCOD. What happens in this is basically there is an imbalance in the FSH and LH. That those are the two hormones in the body, estrogen and progesterone, what people would be more comfortable hearing. So there is an imbalance due to which the periods do not come in time. And why is that? It's because the ovum in the ovary would not burst into the fallopian tube. It would burst within the ovary and form a cyst. So therefore, polycystic ovarian disease or syndrome or disorder is what we generally come up with.
So, how long is this treatment that they have to take through homeopathy to cure it?
So there are two ways, of course. One is, of course, to go to the gynecologist. So they would give you the OCPs, that is the oral contraceptive pills, which would be the estrogen and progesterone, the chemical estrogen and progesterone. But that is not curative because it's not actually balancing your hormones. It is basically just temporarily doing your body's hormonal system. Jaise hota hai, the cycle, it is now taking over. That cycle is being taken over by the OCPs. Versus in homeopathy, what we do is we try and create a balance in the body. So we try and create a balance in the hormones. So the FSH and LH would be in balance with each other. The estrogen and progesterone would be in balance with each other. And therefore you will have complete balance in the whole system of the fertility system, the PCOS, the ovary system, as well as the body. So we do give our patients, besides, of course, it takes about 6 months to a year for complete eradication of this. But we do definitely we do guide our patients to avoid carbohydrates, because in this case, a patient does get insulin resistance. So therefore, they start behaving like a diabetic. So you'll have darkness around the neck area, you'll have darkness around the groin area, and things like that. So you'll start putting on weight, you'll come up with a lot of acne, there'll be hair gain, there'll be hair loss. So they get very disturbed. Besides just the missing out of the periods, that's not the only symptom. So
And
we do.
so
No,
yeah, I've just got
yeah.
And besides this, like beside the medication, what is the advice that we can give to the younger generation, because I would say because of the COVID, it's been more than a year now that the children are staying at home, especially the young girls. Okay. And what is happening is like, of course, their daily routine pattern is like really gone haywire. There is no time to sleep. There is no time to get up. The online classes and all that, they are like lying in their bed and taking a class. When you have to go to a school, you become a little active as you're not going anywhere. So the sedentary attitude of children is really gone high within this year. So how can we tell them that take little baby steps towards these precautions, but you should start it at your home? So what can we tell them?
Yeah, this is one advice that I give to all and sundry, not only the younger generation, even our generation and the older generation. Please maintain a routine. Please lead a disciplined life. Just because there is a lockdown, just because you all are having to stay at home, does not mean you give up discipline. And this is where everyone's bringing up and cores would come out. Because if you are not following a disciplined life, if you are not following a good life, you will suffer somewhere or the other. Yes, there have been a lot of anxiety issues where people have started skipping periods and they're coming to us. Is it PCOS? It's generally related to just anxiety and not PCOS. So please, if you do lead a disciplined life, and in the disciplined life, I always say, give 1 hour of yourself to exercise, 15 minutes morning and evening for meditation, connect with yourself. Take your 1 hour off of me time where you can probably play with your gadgets or probably play somewhere out. And you should also have a very disciplined sleep pattern and meal pattern. So if any one of these are forsaken, are compromised, your health will suffer. And believe it or not, if you let it continue, there might be diseases that come and attack you, which are not curable, which are not reversible. So if you do not take heed right now, you may suffer a lot later on. So it's better to take heed now. And this advice is not only for the youngsters, even for the elders. But yes, I do see a lot of youngsters not having a time to sleep. There is no fixed time to sleep. There's no fixed time to get up. There's no fixed time to study. There's no fixed time to eat. They are eating all things that they are ordering in. So yes, they really need help.
Yeah,
they'll really need us later on.
I pray that they don't need us. I mean, they should be healthy everywhere. But then, yes, talking about anxiety because of staying at home and not going out, not socializing, but still, being more on your laptops and your mobiles and, seeing the social media too much. The anxiety level, not just among children, but among everybody, has really gone high. And I myself have seen patient coming up with the anxiety where they just start sweating and the symptoms are like really, that time it's like they are literally sinking only. They cannot even maintain themselves, that balance is just not there. So besides that, calming them through meditation and all that, at times you need an instant relief also for anxiety, where at times it goes really high. So we need to give an instant relief also. So is there any medications and all in homeopathy for that?
Yes, we do. We have tackled a lot of anxiety problems during this lockdown, and even now, a lot of people are coming with us. Each one shows the anxiety very differently. Some
Yes.
people, as I said, the younger generation may show anxiety just by skipping periods, versus the others, elder generation may show, as you said, sweating a lot or getting very worried or crying and things like that. So generally, I also tell them to address the problems logically, to see why are they getting anxiety, what is the problem, is it COVID, how, then get your statistics out. Are there people really dying of your age? It's not that bad, it's just that because we see the worst, so we start believing that that's what's going to happen to us. So address your anxiety, and of course we have medications that would improve them immediately. So
Yeah.
it's not a problem at all. Homeopathy is always there to help.
That's really good. The fear is too much. Everybody's super scared deep inside. What if I get it? What if this happens or that? But okay, let me tell you one more thing. Like my daughter only, I must tell everybody that she's been cured by you for anxiety, as she used to get anxiety right before her exams. She used to feel so nervous, and her palpitation used to go high, and hands are sweating and things like that used to happen. So I would like to talk about that also, because Dr. Bella, nowadays many children are suffering from this, because
Yeah.
that pressure of performance has become really high among children. And we as a parent probably must be, could be a cause behind that, because we are always comparing our children to others, rather than
Yeah.
telling them that, no, it's okay, whatever you are doing is good. Like of course I have changed myself a lot over the period, but this has to be there for every parent, that we are, each child is unique, each
Yes.
individual is unique, and we should appreciate what our children are doing, rather than criticizing or comparing them constantly, which
Yeah.
builds
Very
that
true.
anxiety in them. So we need to, as a parent, we need to start with this initiative on our own. So what is your say about this?
I absolutely agree with this. You are, of course, a very, very sensible parent, I must say,
Thank
who's
you.
done it very well. And I would hope that all parents would behave just like you. They would guide them well. See, if you need to compare anything, you need to compare the child with their own performance, their own last performance. Nobody else should come into comparison except for they themselves. They
Hmm.
need to get better than what they were. Nothing, it's not ABC's performing, so therefore we need to perform, or DEF has gone for that course, so we need to go there, or
True.
GHE is going here, so we need to go here. I mean, we don't really need to compare. Our passions might be very different. Each child, as you said, is very unique. Their passions are different. Their positives are different from
True.
the others. So we have to enhance, as parents, we have to recognize those positives. We have to enhance those positives. We have to encourage the child to go through those positives, so that she or he can make a mark in that field themselves.
Yeah.
So yes, we as parents should be conscious parents, not criticizing, but encouraging.
But because for children also, I would say the amount of uncertainty in this last year, it was like really high for them. They had not seen
Yeah.
anything like this. I mean, of course, even not, as an adults, we had also not seen anything, but still, we being a little more matured, we can still handle it a little, in a little better manner. But when we talk about children, they are dependent on us. They look upon to us, and when we are not there for them, and we are still pushing them a lot, where will they go? Where will they go? Because they have to come to
I
us.
can I can actually appreciate that, because I was just talking to a girl who was a head girl for her school. I won't name her. So she's been the head girl. She's done her responsibilities, but all sitting at home. So
Mm.
I can understand the lack of enthusiasm, the lack of the enjoyment of you know how when you are an office bearer in school, the kind of pride that you feel, it's reduced to half, because you're not really doing any of your duties, or you're doing just half of your duties. You're doing them sitting at home. There's no sari day, there's no teacher's day where you dress up a sari inside and go and teach. So the excitement, the social excitement is all gone. So yes, I can understand. And for them it's so important. Yeah, for them the sari day is so important.
Yeah, especially the 12th standard for this year, the 12th, the board, children who are supposed to take that 2021 boards, for them, this year was like, I mean, there was no school.
Yeah.
You are
Yes,
finishing off with
understand.
your whole school journey, and there is no school for you. So, of course, the anxiety has to go up. Cannot, I mean, but the situation is not in anybody's hand. So,
So I think they should understand that. And two, I think the parents can pacify them. Parents can explain to a large extent. Parents can play games, board games or something within themselves, so that, you know, they don't get too anxious about anything that's not happening. The things that they're missing out, the fun part that they're missing out should be compensated by the family. They should all get together and, you know, somehow or the other do any kind of game, or maybe even watch a serial together, so that there is some kind of connect. There is some kind of fun. There is some kind of, you know, I am needed, I am loved, I am wanted, I am part.
Yes.
So if you're not part of those,
yeah, because
so
we as a human beings, we long for connectivity, we long for connection, which has been missing in this year. So as a family, the bonding has to be more stronger, I mean, which was not there. That bonding was also, you know, drifting apart, because we had time for everybody in the world, but we didn't have time for our own family. So in a way, I consider COVID as a blessing also, because it gave us time to be with your family, which nobody could get it otherwise. Everybody's so busy in doing, I don't know what. So
not only connecting with the family, I think a lot of us have connected with ourselves, connected within. There has been a lot of time of self-reflection too.
True.
So yes, COVID has been a blessing for a lot of people.
Yes. And, you know, talking about, as we had mentioned, that we should get connected to your own self. So many a time, you know, people think that meditation is like learning a proper way of meditation, sitting in that samadhi, then only you can meditate. And I mean, here I would like to say, though, I mean, together with you, with your help only, I have learned how to meditate. But for others, I've also learned this, that meditation is like, it could be in anything where you get connected to yourself. Could be listening to music, could be reading, could be watching a good comedy movie, you know. So the concept of meditation has to be more clear among people, that meditation is not just that you have to sit in a quiet place or listen to that, or what do you call it, chanting kind of a music or anything. No, meditation is like be connected to yourself any which way.
When you're connected with the subconscious, you are in a meditative stage.
Yes.
And believe me, music is supposed to be one of the best way of meditation. Listening to music.
Yes.
A lot of kids connect with themselves just by listening to music. That's the best way.
Yeah, so that should be more encouraged, that, you know, it's okay when the child is listening to a music, give that space to that child and let them be themselves. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's really good. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about, you know, there are certain diseases which, you know, I think in allopathy, we need to go and get ourselves operated for, or we have to do some external kind of a thing, applications, then only it can be cured. Like I would talk about, there is a very common problem of corns that we get in our feet. Okay. Is there a cure for that in homeopathy?
Completely. So basically corns, there are a lot of people who come to us with corns, and they can be completely cured, treated with homeopathy. Again, when you ask me for the time period, there have been times when a single dose has eradicated the corn completely. So the person has taken a single dose here in the morning, he's got up or she's got up without the corn. So that's the amazing ones. But there are, of course, sometimes we do take about 6 months to remove the corn completely. But yes, it just gets eradicated. The body just throws it out, and you wouldn't even know that there was a corn there before. There'll be no dog or anything that would remind you also that there was something here.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
good. Same thing with cysts. There are a lot of cysts that come up in the on the skin, the sebaceous cysts. They also can be totally removed, expelled out with homeopathy. Again, no operation required, no surgery required. It can be completely eradicated by actually simple methe pills. That's it.
Okay. Acha, and one more thing, many a times like females, they go for pedicures and manicures, and what happens is like when they get their cuticles cut, okay, there is some kind of a dead skin left over, and then, um, uh, I mean, I'm not able to explain it probably. Maybe there is some, extra skin left in your nails, which also causes some kind of infections.
Yeah.
I don't know, have you understood or not what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. So there
Yeah.
are two types. One is, of course, ingrown toenail.
Huh.
So if your pedicurist takes your chaps the nail or cuts the nail too close to your skin in the end,
Mhm.
the nail may start growing in. That's ingrown toenail again, which is operated by the surgeons, but we can completely cure it through homeopathy. Simple
I've
homeopathy.
heard that people getting their nails completely taken off and
Yeah,
things which
right.
sounds so painful. I don't know, when you are getting it done, it's going to be far more painful also.
Yes. So with anesthesia, maybe not that painful, but you have to live without that nail sometimes.
Yeah.
Versus with homeopathy, we do not do that. It's just simple meaty goalies again. Sweet pills can completely reverse it, and you can be cured completely. Got a lot of cases whose ingrown toenails have been completely cured. And the other thing that we were talking about was baronychia, wherein the side of the nail, that's the base of the nail where the cuticle grows. That's where if there is an infection, then there'll be a lot of pus formation there.
Yeah.
That also, instead of getting it cut or operated upon, you can easily get this also cured completely with homeopathy. So both nail problems can be completely cured with homeopathy.
Yeah, this is what, because what happens is like some people are so pro to homeopathy and some people are so pro to allopathy that they don't even want to think about it, and they're like, okay, let's just go
Yeah,
and get the surgery done and we are sorted. And rather
yeah,
than rather than getting those knives and needles in your body, why not have the meaty pills and get it cured at the
absolutely,
easier
absolutely.
way?
Harmless, safe and harmless, and
Yeah,
a sweet way to get cured.
it's a little slow process, but then it is more
Yeah,
safer
it's worth
process.
it.
Worth it, worth all that pain and effort, that you have to go through rather than getting the needles and the knives done on your body. Yeah.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
any other problem that, I mean, I might not be getting aware of right now, so you can tell our viewers about to make it more easy.
So, yeah, if you're talking about things like operations, then another surgical procedure that can be cured with homeopathy is renal calculi, kidney stones.
Mhm.
That again can be eradicated if it is not beyond 10 mm. If it is within that, then again we can eradicate it through homeopathy. So we give simple pills again. Within 3 to 6 months, that stone can be eradicated. So
Okay.
these are small things.
But this is just for kidney stones, not for gallbladder stones, because
Not
many
for gallbladder.
gallbladder you
I
have
have
to get it
not been
removed.
able to successfully remove any gallbladder stones, so I do not take cases on gallbladder stones.
Okay.
Generally, when gallbladder stones, I generally advise my patients not to have anything very, very heavy, very
Hmm.
fatty. And if they do want to have something fatty, make sure that it's lunchtime so that you don't sleep immediately after that. And
Hmm.
the only other thing that I generally say is after a meal, please at least walk for 10 minutes and keep upright. Keep your body upright at least for an hour or two so that you're not in a supine position or you're not sleeping or you're not lying down so that your food is digested. Once the stomach is empty, then you can do what you want. That's not an issue at all. So you will never have any kind of digestive problems if you do follow this routine
Hmm.
with or without gallbladder stones. But yeah, with gallbladder stones, this is absolutely necessary. Without gallbladder stones, yes, you can get away, but it would be better if you want your digestive system to work well. It's best to take a 10-minute stroll after your walk and at least an hour, maximum 2, of not lying down at all after your meals.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So thank you so much for giving us so much of information. And you know what? It's an advice to everybody. Rather than having the kadvi goli, start having the meaty goli, which is going to be so beneficial also. Though it takes, you have to be a little patient with homeopathy. But then homeopathy has its own so many benefits that, we all need to realize. And thank you so much for coming over. I'm going to share the details of Dr. Bela with you in the link below. So if you want, you can go and consult her anytime, provided you have to go with the prior appointment with her. Always, that I would say, being COVID or no COVID, right, Dr. Bela? Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to have you here. Thank you. I really loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.